Hey, this is Mac B. the Wolf.
And this is Action Jackson from the Ugly American Werewolf in London Rock podcast. Do you like Kiss?
If you do, you should really listen to Tom and Zeus of Shout It Out Loudcast. They know their stuff, and they're funny as hell. Shout It Out Loudcast.
With Tom and Zeus.
That's right. We're back with another episode of Dorm Damage, the show where anything and everything is on the table and the table gets smashed. This time we're talking about The Ringer's 50 best movie soundtracks of the past 50 years. Ain't that right, Zeus?
Yeah, movie soundtracks used to be a bigger part of pop culture than now. I mean, it could make or break a movie sometimes.
It's true. I feel like we grew up in like that really sweet spot pre-streaming with soundtracks, 70s, 80s, especially 90s, whatever genre of music was big, especially the 90s in college. A lot of those like alternative, like grungy type things. We'll get into 80s with the pop, 70s with like the disco, R&B, and then you had the classic rock. It was just a great way to get a collection of music before the era of playlists, you know, and like you said, a lot of times these soundtracks lifted the movie.
Yeah, the soundtracks became bigger than the movies. I mean, just off the top of my head, Singles, Flashdance.
Yep.
Like those soundtracks were huge.
That's right.
Bigger than the movies. So
I mean, like Beat Street, Breakin'. I mean, I don't know if either one of those will be on the list, but we'll find out.
Yeah, we're just going to run down their list, make a little comment about each one of them. We're not even going to do a list ourselves. We're just going to go over their specific list.
Yep.
And have a quick discussion on the soundtracks, you know?
Yeah. And this is the ringer.com. If you're not familiar with them, they're a huge pop culture conglomerate website, tons of different podcasts, movies, music, all kinds of great stuff. If you know, like Bill Simmons back in his days of writing in sports and ESPN and stuff, I think he's kind of either the head of the Ringer or pretty much one of the guys, but the Ringer has kind of taken over pop culture, and their website published this December of 21. So it's pretty recent. It's the top 50 of the last 50 years.
Yeah, let's go number 50, 8 Mile.
8 Mile. Great movie. I'm a big Eminem fan. I think this movie is great. I don't think you have to like Eminem to like it. The soundtrack is okay. I mean, it's got that big song, Lose Yourself, which shockingly won an Oscar. Not shockingly because it's a bad song, but just that the Oscars gave Eminem something. But it's not a top to bottom soundtrack for me, but I like it. Not sure how familiar you are with it, Zeus.
No, I mean, I like Eminem. I can tell you that. Lose Yourself it left that hip hop culture and became a pop hit.
Yep. And
it's now, you hear it at hockey games, you hear it at sporting events, you hear it everywhere.
Yep.
In a crucial moment in a game, everybody plays that one specific song.
Mm-hmm.
Not familiar, didn't have the album, and that was number 50. Number 49, Tom, I think you're bebopping to this, and that's High School High.
So this is one of those things that you just mentioned. I know the soundtrack. I don't even know if I've ever seen the movie. I mean, I know the movie, but hip hop soundtracks were incredible. I mean, it had Wu-Tang Clan. It had Pete Rock, De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest. It had like all kinds of crazy stuff on there. It was a good soundtrack, but I'll be honest with you, never saw the movie.
Yeah, I thought that was that High School Musical.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, I think I remember that. Wasn't that a big high school like dance thing? But high school. These are when I'm looking at the list, these are all the artists you really liked.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
I see Wu-Tang. I hear Tribe Called Quest. I'm like, Tom definitely knows this.
Yep. It's a good one.
And here's one we definitely know.
Oh, yeah.
You remember this in college? Number 48, Judgment Night.
Another example of a soundtrack that's way bigger and better than the movie, because the movie is just stupid. But this movie was huge because it capitalized on the grunge alternative thing, because it paired up hip hop artists with grunge and metal artists. You had like Pearl Jam with Cypress Hill, Helmet with House of Pain. It was a pretty wild soundtrack. I mean,
Onyx.
Yeah, Onyx. Yeah, exactly.
Biohazard.
Yeah, that was a big one. The movie.
I remember this soundtrack.
Yep.
47 is American Honey. What?
I don't know anything about. I think this is the movie with what's her name? What's that? What's that hottie there?
Ooh, that hottie.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I never saw the movie, so I don't know. I never saw the movie, never saw the soundtrack. No, I guess the girl's not a hottie. So my mistake. Yeah, don't know anything about this. I've heard of the movie, don't know anything about the soundtrack.
An adolescent girl from a troubled home runs away with a traveling sales crew that drives across American Midwest selling subscriptions door to door.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
I know him.
Dude, this sounds horrendous.
Yeah, it sounds pretty awful.
Yeah, I don't know what's on this soundtrack. Fuck it. 46, The Breakfast Club.
Okay, now when I think of this, I just think of that epic Simple Minds song, Don't You Forget About Me. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even know there was like an actual like full like legitimate soundtrack, because that song just became huge. Because Simple Minds was big anyways, and this song just became
remember
legendary.
That song, big in the 80s?
Yeah. This song just became legendary. I think it's still a great song, but in terms of a soundtrack, I don't really know much about it.
Yeah, there's Wang Chung on there and a bunch of other no-name artists. You know, these are those all kind of the pre-alternative Talking Heads type shit.
Like new wave type of stuff.
Yeah. Other than fucking Don't You Forget About Me, which is like the quintessential high school soundtrack movie song of all.
That's
time.
right.
And the movie just is it's a classic. It's
absolutely
classic.
There might be a John Hughes episode in the future of Dome Damage. Yes,
absolutely. Number 45. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called Grease.
I cannot believe this is this low.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of what you think of the movie or the soundtrack, I mean, there's very few soundtracks / albums that are this legendary. Look,
this is one of those that it's great in both. I mean, I'm not ashamed to say I think they're both great.
Yeah.
The movie and the soundtrack.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. I mean, what do you say? Summer Nights, you're the one that I want. I mean, first of all, a blistering hot Olivia Newton-John. Just insane. Rest in peace, that sweetheart of a woman. But
they're both in their 30s playing high school kids.
I know, exactly.
That's okay.
Exactly.
Everything is great. Even the little deep cuts, like Beauty School Dropout. Like these songs I remember because they're everybody's high school. What do you call it? Everybody's high school musical. Like everybody did this.
Exactly.
I had a girlfriend in high school that was in that musical. And and I was jealous because you know who played Danny Zuko?
Who?
That buffoon, Dane Cook.
Oh God! Oh, I forgot he's from Arlington. Oh,
yeah, he went to my high school.
That's right.
He was the thing. He was like a kind of like a band, not a band, but like a theater dork. He wasn't like funny or cool. He wasn't popular.
He was never funny.
No, but just saying, he wasn't a popular kid in high school. I don't remember him. He was kind of like he did his theater shit. But even that whole movie is great. And the music, this is a musical, so it has to go.
Yeah,
and the fact that Olivia Newton-John can sing, and even John Travolta can sing somewhat.
He did a great job. Absolutely.
It works. The songs were perfect, and the movie just works.
Yep.
It's an all-time classic musical. So what can you say? 44, The Muppet Movie.
Okay, I'm a sucker for the Muppets. I love all things Muppets. The movies, the TV show, all that stuff. Other than I know the Rainbow Connection that Kermit sings and that Moving Right Along song. I can't remember anything else about this. I mean, I just remember it came out when we were 6 years old. That's about it. But the Muppets are friggin' awesome. We're a Muppet generation.
What are you talking about? Isn't New York Groove in that stuff?
That's right. Oh, shit, I forgot. Muppets. Ace, forgot. I'm in there too. Thanks, guys.
I wrote a couple songs for the soundtrack because I'm a highly sought after lead vocalist.
I really know how to pen a hit. That's what they call me for.
Anyways, 43, a very popular soundtrack, and that's Moulin Rouge.
Yeah, I never saw the movie, and all I know is that cover that of the Lady Marmalade cover, which was actually pretty kick-ass in the 90s. But yeah, big movie, big soundtrack. Never saw it, never owned it. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's done by the guy that did a bunch of big musicals along with the new Elvis movie.
That's right, Baz Luhrmann. Yep.
Yeah, so it's pretty popular.
Yep.
42, Boogie Nights.
So it's funny. I mean, I know for me, and I'm sure you're the same, when you think of soundtrack Boogie Nights, you just think of the Sister Christian scene, the Night Ranger scene. You know what I mean?
Oh,
that's just
so iconic.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that, I mean, I know the soundtrack is good, but I mean, it's got, Marvin Gaye, the Commodores, ELO, terrible.
You love ELO.
Terrible.
Bring me down.
Them and BTO, just horrendous bands.
Down.
But it's, when I think of this, I just think of Sister Christian.
Yeah, and then Got to Give It Up, Marvin Gaye. I mean, come on.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's God Only Knows We're the Beach Boys, maybe the greatest written song of all time. And I think who said that? Either John Lennon or Paul McCartney said that about God Only Knows the Beach Boys.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love the Beach Boys. Episode in the future.
Okay.
41, Train Spotting.
So this is a movie and a soundtrack where you're really talking like alternative, like really like out there. Iggy Pop with that song Lust for Life. Everybody knows that song. It's TV commercials, movies and stuff. But then you got bands like Blur, Elastica, came out in 96. It's a British movie with a British soundtrack. 96, we were fresh out of college, so I wasn't into this stuff. I mean, the movie's iconic, the soundtrack, honestly, I don't know too much about it other than that Iggy Pop song that kind of you hear a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Elastica's got that fucking awesome song from the 90s, and one of the themes on this one of the opening tracks for Dorm Damage.
That's right.
Connection.
Yeah.
That song fucking rocks.
Yeah, courtesy of Tom Dust. We have to give him another thanks.
We almost forgot every fucking time.
Yep.
Tom, you rock. We love all the fucking music you've done for us. You are the best. Tom
That's
Dust,
right.
everybody.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
So let's move on. Number 40. A little movie called Top Gun.
A huge soundtrack, of course. Kenny Loggins, Berlin. You Lost That Love and Feeling. Let's not forget about the homoerotic volleyball scene, Hanging with the Boys, or whatever song that is that Kenny Loggins is singing there. But yeah, Danger Zone and Take My Breath Away. Another soundtrack. I mean, the movie's awesome, legendary, but this is one where the soundtrack just obviously lifted it even higher, if it could have even been lifted higher.
Oh, don't forget Loverboy, Heaven in Your Eyes.
Ugh, relax.
This Cheap Trick on this Miami Sound Machine.
Yep.
Yes. I actually saw Top Gun Maverick on the flight for the cruise.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Actually pretty good. I'll give them credit.
Yep.
39 is something I think you will like, and that is the Batman soundtrack by Prince.
Yeah. This is kind of like weird Prince. I mean, Prince is weird to begin with. But even here, The Ringer says he delivered a quirky, eclectic mix. That's a perfect way to describe it. Because this is not 1999. This is not Purple Rain. Bat Dance was obviously huge, but the soundtrack was just massive. The movie was massive. And I mean, it's Prince. It's iconic, the whole thing. This is one of those packages where the soundtrack and the movie are just legendary together.
Yeah, it's funny because I think I've talked about this. I remember seeing at Newberry Comics all of a sudden going to places and seeing pop culture toys and stuff and more posters and games and stuff. I'm like, What is all this Batman shit? I'm looking to buy a fucking Warrant CD. What is this in 89? And the movie and the soundtrack, they just fit perfectly. I just remember Party Man was a great song.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Royal Tannenbaums at number 38. Quirky fucking shit.
Yeah, maybe you can speak more on this. I know the movie, never saw it. Don't know anything about the soundtrack. I know it's got one of my favorite Paul Simon songs, Me and Julio Down by the Schoolyard. Because I love Paul Simon and Simon and Garfunkel, but I never saw the movie.
Julio Down by the Schoolyard.
Yeah.
I'm on my way.
Exactly, yes.
Don't know where I'm going. The Clash, the Ramones, Nick Drake, Nico. Like, come on. This is pretentious fucking shit.
Yep. Well, the movie is kind of that way too, so.
But Christmas Time is Here by the Vince Guaraldi Trio. You know what that is?
Which is one of the all-time greatest soundtracks in the history of soundtracks. But if we were making a list, that would be on mine.
Yeah, which is the Charlie Brown.
That's right, Christmas.
Musicians, yeah.
Yep.
37, The Prince of Egypt. Oh, God. This is shit you would like, right?
Me? Never saw the movie. I don't know anything about it.
Isn't that the big fucking Elton John movie song? Oh, no, no, that's the fucking,
that's the Lion King. And that song is terrible by Elton.
Yeah, I was like, that's your boy. What are you talking about?
Nope.
There's a Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey song on Prince of Egypt.
No.
Probably why that's so big.
Yeah.
Right? When You Believe. I don't even know it. Produced by Babyface.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn. Yeah, I don't know. Disney fucking shit. So number 36, Trouble Man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to plead ignorant here. Never heard of it.
So Trouble Man was a movie kind of like Batman, where the huge artist, this time Marvin Gaye, not Prince, does all the music.
Okay.
So apparently it was some blaxploitation movie that came out, I think, in 72.
Okay.
And all done by Marvin Gaye.
Which is awesome. That's probably why we're not familiar with the movie. It came out before we were born.
Yeah. 35, The Big Chill. I have this.
Yeah.
And this is the ultimate fucking Boomers soundtrack.
This is legendary. I had this cassette. So good. So friggin' good. Yep.
And you can almost look at this and be like, yeah, this is it's like a stereotypical, oh yeah, this is a fucking Baby Boomers soundtrack. Like the whole, when the Vietnam War movies were starting to come out and everybody's playing this stuff. You got Good Lovin' by the Rascals, Joy to the World. You make me feel like a natural woman. I second that emotion. Ain't Too Proud to Bed, Tracking My Tears, My Girl. I heard it through the grapevine. You name the R&B Motown hit, it's in here.
Yeah, legendary.
Winter Shade of Pale. Holy fuck. Everything's in this movie.
Yep.
And the movie just is fucking horrendous too, by the way.
I don't like the movie either.
Yeah. Number 34, Juno.
Good movie. I actually really enjoyed the movie. Don't know anything about the music. I just remember the movie was actually pretty cool. Can I call her Ellen Page? I mean, the article has her called Elliot Page because of her transition, which is all well and good. I don't know. When the movie came out, that was her name, but
I don't know anything. I remember the movie. It was okay.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool.
But yeah, it's got Velvet Underground, Sonic Youth.
Yeah, it's another one of those like super alternative, like wackadoo soundtracks.
Yep. Here we go. 33, Friday.
Yes. Oh my God. Dr. Dre's Keep Their Heads Ringing. Everybody remembers that.
Ding dong.
Yep. Rick James. Yeah. And there's an artist called Rose Royce, not Rock and Rolls Royce.
The movie is just fucking legendary.
Of course it is. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. The soundtrack is okay too. 32, Donnie Darko.
I know this movie. Everybody talks about wicked cult classic. Never saw it.
Never saw it. And with soundtrack filled with Echo and the Bunnymen.
Yep.
Tears for Fears. I can see why.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of not there for me.
Even though Tears for Fears are pretty cool.
They are.
Yeah, they got some good songs. 31, Juice.
Awesome movie, awesome soundtrack. Tupac legitimately is fucking awesome in this movie. He is terrifying. He plays an absolute lunatic in this movie. If you're like an 80s, 90s hip hop guy, this soundtrack is killer. And I legitimately like the movie a lot. It's
the
actually
movie
a good
was
movie.
very good.
Yeah, it's a good movie, and the soundtrack's killer.
With the coach from the Pittsburgh Steelers in it.
That's right. Mike Tomlin stars in this.
AKA Omar Epps.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Better known as Mike Tomlin from the Steelers. They got Big Daddy Kane, EPMD, Queen Latifah. Too short.
Yep. Eric B had the title track, or the big signature song, Know the Ledge.
Oh, number 30, Do the Right Thing.
I love this movie. To me, this is famous for Fight the Power by Public Enemy, one of my favorite bands. I'm not really familiar with the rest of the soundtrack, but I just know that Fight the Power, Public Enemy, like just was huge when this came out. And I think this movie's it's a great movie.
Yeah, when you hear Fight the Power, it brings you to this movie every single time.
Yep.
Right? It's so iconic.
Yep.
Yeah. 29 is Space Jam.
I got to be one of the only people on planet Earth that have never seen this.
No.
Oh, good.
No.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. So what is this? Fly Like an Eagle?
Yeah, is this?
Steel?
I believe I can fly. Isn't that it? I don't know.
Is that on from this movie?
I think so.
I Believe I Can Fly. I know Fly Like an Eagle is a cover.
Yeah.
But I don't believe R. Kelly was pissing on kids when this came out.
Drip, drip, drip. If you don't know what we're talking about, go watch Dave Chappelle.
I'm gonna piss on you.
Turn your face into a toilet seat.
Oh, actually, it is there. I Believe I Can Fly.
There you go. See?
Wow, he's been around that long, pissing on people. Wow.
Yep.
28, Good Will Hunting.
All right, one of the greatest movies ever made. I absolutely love this movie. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know one thing about the soundtrack. I didn't even know there was one.
Oh, let's go to the soundtrack page.
Didn't even know there was one.
Yeah, it's nothing that I would say is well known.
No.
With the exception of Runaway by Del Shannon. I don't think I really know anything on this.
No.
How Can You Mend a Broken Heart by Al Green?
No. Stop it.
On the soundtrack, you got the Dandy Warhols, who I actually like. Got a couple great songs.
Yep.
Not If You're a Junkie, whatever the fuck that's called. I love it. Because heroin is so passe. Love that song.
Oh, I remember that song. Yep.
Oh, I love it. Number 27, Black Panther.
The soundtrack is awesome. My son is a massive Kendrick Lamar fan. He got me into him. I knew Kendrick Lamar from this soundtrack. If you're a hip hop fan, if you're a Kendrick Lamar fan, I mean, this is a great soundtrack. But if you're not into rap and stuff and you're not familiar with Kendrick, then it's probably not going to do anything for you. But this is a really awesome soundtrack if you're into that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
Yep.
How about 26, Marie Antoinette? I remember this.
Nope.
Do you remember when Marie Antoinette, it was one of those movies similar to, what's that fucking night movie, A Knight's Tale?
Oh,
with,
yeah. With
where they have like
Heath
modern,
Ledger.
where they have modern music instilled in a period piece movie. Yep. I think Marie Antoinette was like that as well. Yeah. And
it had like the Strokes in it, and
so like the movie would all of a sudden you'd be like, what the fuck is this doing in this movie?
Yep.
And you got all sorts of fucking New Order. Adam and the Ants.
Yes, love Adam and the Ants. Huge 80s band.
The Cure, Susie and the Banshees.
The Cure is terrible. I'm sorry. The Cure is horrendous. The Cure is horrendous.
Yeah, I take me out of here. I'm done.
Yeah, not good.
25 of Forrest Gump. Now this was a fucking all-encompassing soundtrack.
This is like legitimately like the classic rock greatest hits album. Like, I mean, this was incredible, this soundtrack.
Yeah, it's got way too much shit on here. I mean, everything from Hound Dog from Elvis.
It's incredible.
Wilson Pickett's 1,000 Dances.
Yep.
Fortunate Son, Credence. Respect, R.E.S.P.C.T., Aretha Franklin.
Yep.
Bob Dylan. Buffalo Springfield. Jefferson Airplane. Three Dog Night.
It's the ultimate classic rock greatest hits collection. I mean, that's why it's sold. Yeah. It sold. I mean, even people who didn't see the movie, didn't like the movie, you own the soundtrack.
They have Fleetwood Mac. They have Sweet Home Alabama. They have fucking Raindrops Fall on My Head. The Supremes. What's the other one? Running on Empty.
Yeah.
Like Against the Wind. Like, you fucking name it. It's in here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, even the songs that didn't make it onto the soundtrack are insane.
Yep. It's great.
Yeah, it's fucking way over the top. 24, Inside Llewyn Davis.
Nope, never saw it. I know the movie, never saw it. Don't know anything about the soundtrack or the movie.
Yeah, it's another one of the T-Bone Burnett kind of things. Who did Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yep.
And this time it's more like 60s folk, Greenwich Village shit.
Yep.
So 23.
Oh boy.
Dirty Dancing.
Speaking of soundtracks that elevated movies, I mean, I've had the time of my life. I mean, my goodness, and then of course you had Patrick Swayze singing "She's Like the Wind," Eric Carmer with "Hungry Eyes." I mean,
he blew like the wind.
Yeah. How dare you? How dare you talk negatively about Patrick Swayze?
See, here's the thing: in this soundtrack, they did modern songs like Hungry Eyes that became a hit. She's Like the Wind became a hit. I've had the time of my life. But then they threw in the whole Be My Baby, Love Is Strange, In the Still of the Night. It's jam-packed with everything. And the newest songs became hits.
I think now this movie is like, the movie became a monster, especially, came out in 87. But I think this is one of those movies where the soundtrack lifted it. Because then people Because then people wanted to see the movie and they realized, hey, this is actually a fun, like cute movie. It is a good movie, regardless of it's a good movie. But the soundtrack just lifted this thing above and beyond.
Yeah, it's a period piece that works.
Yeah. Yep.
It really works.
Yep.
So then we get to number 22, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, Tom.
Okay. I know Scott Pilgrim versus the World because it's like a graphic novel. I've never seen the movie. I've heard it's actually really good, but I just know that it's based on like a graphic novel that's where the story comes from.
A couple songs from Beck, T-Rex, The Stones, Under My Thumb. I don't know. Frank Black, and shit like that. Fucking okay, whatever. 21, Hustle and Flow.
So another one, I know the movie, never saw it. I know that the soundtrack is pretty big, but this is when I started kind of drifting away from hip hop. Like I had guys like Juvenile and T.I. and stuff. And this was like later hip hop where I was kind of not into it. So I know the movie, but I never saw it. I don't know much about the soundtrack.
Yeah. The soundtrack had the big original song winner from the Academy Awards. It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp. Remember?
I do remember that. Yeah. Yes. Yep.
What do you call them? 6 Mafia, whatever.
3-6 Mafia. Yep.
Yeah. So that one, and that's what this is famous for.
Yep.
Top 20, The Harder They Come. It's like a reggae movie with Jimmy Cliff.
Yeah, it came out in 1972. Never heard of it. Never saw it. I don't know
nothing about it.
I think being in college, man, I don't think me and you ever need to hear another Bob Marley song ever again. The friggin' Legend album was beaten to death in college. Oh,
fantastic.
Brutal. It's a great album, but yikes.
Yeah. 19, Velvet Goldmine.
It's another one. I know the movie. Never saw it. Never pulled me in. Yeah. I think it's about all like glam stuff. It's the rise and fall of glam rock. Yeah, I don't know much about it.
Dude, Brian Eno is everywhere on these soundtracks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he was huge during this. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know any Roxy Music, T-Rex, Lou Reed.
Yep.
You get the picture, people, right?
Yep.
Number 18, Lost in Translation.
All right. So these are the movies when they started really going like wicked alt rock stuff. So
quirky shit.
Yeah, exactly. I never saw the movie, but it's got bands like the Jesus and Mary Chain, bands like Death in Vegas, and then it's got stuff like Patti Smith and the Pretenders, and it's just a real like, oh, look at me, I'm like elevated, like intellectually alt music stuff, which I think that's what the movie is too. But I don't know, never saw it.
Yeah, 17 Romeo and Juliet. I have that.
Yeah, Baz Luhrmann making another visit here.
Yeah.
Love
me.
That's the only song I really know by the Cardigans. Yep. That's a great song.
She was cute. The other big song was number one, Crushed by Garbage.
Yes, great song.
Everclear was on there.
Yep.
Butthole Surfers.
Yep.
Radiohead.
Yeah. Not a bad soundtrack.
No. I mean, those are the big ones from that. And number 16, Garden State.
Okay. This is so early 2000s, 2004. This is when everything started getting like indie and like super quirky and like out there. I saw the movie. The movie's not bad, but I know the soundtrack was famous, quote unquote, because it had songs from the Shins, stuff from Coldplay. And it was just like a really weird movie and a really weird soundtrack, you know, and it's just very dated. It's very of the time.
I agree. I agree.
Yep.
15 Shaft.
Hell yeah.
Ooh. With your bad self.
You damn right. Isaac Hayes, baby. Legendary.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what can you say?
That's right.
You think of an era, you think of a type of a movie. Shaft.
Yep. That's right. Yep.
14 Drive.
Okay. Never saw it. I know the movie. It's Ryan Gosling. See, that's funny because these are the movies I'm like, this had a soundtrack, which to me just means that I mean, it says right here, a collection of Europop and synthwave. Okay, maybe that's why me and you don't know the soundtrack.
What the fuck?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
13 Singles.
Boom. Yeah, you guys might know this soundtrack. We covered this in depth on our album review crew, other sidecast, in depth. We really went into this one. It's a soundtrack of our college years. I mean, it's like a grunge greatest hits album. What can you say? Speaking of a soundtrack lifting a movie, this is definitely an example right here.
Yeah, the movie is intertwined with everything, the story, the background, you name it.
Yep.
And the music is incredible. And the greatest thing about this is this got filmed and done prior to grunge breaking out.
Yeah.
So the music, it was like a love letter about the city of Seattle and what was happening. And then people caught up to it.
And the other thing that was awesome about it too is it's original songs from these artists. It's not songs that you heard that they threw onto an album.
With the exception of Hendrix.
Well, right. But you got 2 new Pearl Jam songs. Wood came out on this soundtrack before Dirt was released.
Yeah.
You know, so you had all this like great stuff. It's just it's legendary. If you want to hear more about
Cornell, Soundgarden. Oh.
If you want to hear more about it, check out our ARC episode.
Yeah, on singles. Number 12 is Clueless.
Oh my God. I love this movie. I love this soundtrack. Alicia Silverstone. This is like late 90s kind of quirky alternative stuff. It's got some cool stuff in it. Mighty Boss Tones, Radiohead, which is not a big Radiohead guy. But this is a fun soundtrack. It's got a really cool cover of Kids in America, that 80s song by Kim Wilde. I like this soundtrack and I love this movie.
Okay. So the thing that I would say is Alicia Silverstone was one of those put in a time machine and be like, at this era, at this time, this girl was an it girl for all time in that era. Oh my God, was she huge.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. So let's go to the next, number 11. And this is a favorite of mine. Oh, brother, where art thou?
I'll let you go. Never saw the movie. Don't know. I know the soundtrack, but this is you. Go ahead.
This is when I had that illegal satellite. Remember?
Yep.
And we would get to see Laying Pipe 2.
Charlie Batch from the Detroit Lions.
Oh, brother, where art thou was like one of those movies that would play as a new release constantly. I fucking love that movie so much. George Clooney cracks me up. The whole movie, the history and all that stuff, and that whole like revival music and historically about this fucking rebirth and stuff coming out from the country music. Yep. And the music is so fucking incredible. It was so good that I actually saw them when they performed most of that music at the Orpheum.
Okay.
I went and saw the artist perform it. So good in original music, country music, old-timey music.
Yep.
I love it.
Nice.
I don't even know where to go with it. It's just
cool.
Incredible. Number 10, John Murphy making an appearance with Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah, Murph isn't the only one who loves this. I absolutely fucking love everything about this soundtrack, top to bottom. I remember we had the cassette, we had the record. I have it now, like the updated, like repress of the soundtrack. It's so. I'm not afraid to admit that fucking disco, the Bee Gees fucking kick ass.
You want to talk about a fucking like an era iconic, like an album from a movie.
Yep.
Created like this fucking explosion.
Yep. It says right here, no offense to Academy Award nominee John Travolta, but without this soundtrack, Saturday Night Fever would not be considered an American classic. It put it this is how different we are right now in 2022. When this album came out, it was on the top of the Billboard charts for 6 months. Think of that. It's awesome. And the other stuff, not just the Bee Gees stuff. The other stuff is awesome. I love this album. Absolutely love this album.
I have a picture of me when I was a little kid having this, and I have my parents took it of me. I'm opening and holding open the gatefold to this.
Yeah, exactly.
Look,
you and Joey Casada,
dude. And this is another one of those. I don't want to like it, and I didn't want to like it when disco, fell out of favor and everything.
Yeah.
But how do you not like Staying Alive? It is the coolest.
It's awesome, dude.
Fucking beat.
It's
and the
awesome.
Whole picture of cool ass John Travolta walking down the street to this, strutting to this.
Yep.
It's fucking beyond iconic.
The movie's awesome too. I mean, it's got some horrendous scenes in it, but the movie's awesome.
Yeah. There's a lot of slapping around going on in that movie.
Yeah. There's some scenes that, not great.
Not good. Number 9, all-time classic, Dazed and Confused.
Oh my God. This one where, again, 70s classic rock greatest hit soundtrack, of course, with Kiss, Rock and Roll All Night. And they actually released more music. So a part 2 soundtrack, because the soundtrack was so loaded. Love the movie, love the soundtrack, legendary all across the board. It's so damn good.
Why can't we be friends?
It's just so good. And the thing I like about this movie, the soundtrack is used very well in the movie. You know what I mean?
I was just going to say the same thing. The last 3 that we kind of went through is exactly like when I think of a soundtrack.
Yeah.
Everything's intertwined with the movie.
Yeah. Dazed
and Confused, music. Saturday Night Fever, Staying Alive, all that intertwined. Singles.
Yep.
That's what makes a great soundtrack for me.
Yep. Agreed.
Number 8, Almost Famous.
Oh my God. How much do I love this movie? The soundtrack is awesome, but to me, one of the most iconic, memorable, just puts a smile on my face scenes is the scene on the bus when they stop playing Tiny Dancer by Elton John. And by the end of the song, the entire bus is just singing it. And it's just fucking awesome. The movie is incredible. If you haven't seen the movie, you have to see it. If you've seen the movie, go watch it again and remind yourself how awesome Almost Famous is.
So I will have to say, I'm a little bit, I feel like the movie's a little overrated because it's so over the top loved.
Okay.
I like the movie. I also think of That's the Way, when Zeppelin's That's the Way plays.
Yes.
So I remember those scenes exactly. But this is another one where the soundtrack is all over the place.
Yep.
And here's another one like that. The Bodyguard, number 7.
Never saw the movie. I know the movie. I know the soundtrack. I know everything. I feel like I know everything about it because you couldn't avoid it when this came out. But
yeah, I just remember the cover of Dolly Parton's "I Will Always Love You."
Yep,
that was on that played everywhere so much.
Brutal.
It was over the fucking top.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, and there's other shit Whitney had done and stuff, and the music and the movie kind of intertwined and whatever.
Yep.
Number 6, Above the Rim, another Tupac movie.
That's right. Another great movie, another soundtrack with a lot of hip hop stuff and R&B. I don't know if it deserves to be number 6.
Yeah.
It's a little high for my taste because I think Juice is a better movie and a better soundtrack. That's just my opinion. But this is where you got the song Regulate from Warren G and Nate Dogg. So, I mean, yeah, good movie, good soundtrack. 6 is a little high for me.
Number 5, Superfly.
Yeah.
Curtis Mayfield.
That's right. Another 70s funk R&B type soundtrack. Never saw the movie, but I feel like I know all the music. So
yeah, it's quite popular there. Number 4, Goodfellas.
oh my God. Now this is interesting. I'm surprised this is that high. Not because
I'm not, because Bill Simmons fucking
that's probably
worships this movie.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. I mean, you talk about iconic movie moments. I mean, Layla, the piano coda in Layla.
Yeah, and then they close up on the car and stuff. Oh, my God.
Exactly. But great friggin' soundtrack, of course, just iconic.
Number 3, Pulp Fiction.
Whew. I mean, talk about a soundtrack that took over Stonehill for senior year, pretty much. Incredible soundtrack, to the point where it was like you couldn't go to a party without somebody just, hey, throw on the Pulp Fiction soundtrack.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack. I mean, it was overplayed for a reason.
Random 70s songs being played.
Yep.
That people are like, no idea who these artists are. All of a sudden, they're playing Chuck Berry's You Can Never Tell.
Yep.
And like all of a sudden, and fucking Jungle Boogie.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Pulp Fiction was everywhere. Number 2, and here it is, Elton John's The Lion King.
Okay. I absolutely love the movie The Lion King. I'm not gonna lie. Not ashamed. Fucking incredible movie. The soundtrack. Look, I absolutely love Elton John, one of my all-time favorite artists. This song is horrendous. It's just everything that's just syrupy and corny. I get it. I'm all set. I love the movie. The movie's fucking amazing, but the soundtrack,
Yeah. I just can't wait to be king.
Okay. You don't like Hakuna Matata?
No, I remember that because they do a big portion of that at Disney when they do the Lion King production thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1, they're wrong because I know this is something you would say. What do you think number 1 is, Tom?
Yeah, they got it right. Purple Rain, baby. Another ARC appearance. Yeah, we've done 2 soundtracks on ARC, and they're both in this list. Yep. Check out our album review crew episode. This was my pick. Zeus picked singles, and I did Purple Rain. Obviously, I'm the Prince guy of the 2 of us, so I mean, what can you say? It's fucking perfect album. If you're a Prince fan, it doesn't get better than this. I mean, I know some people prefer 1999 or whatever, but Purple Rain, come on.
Yeah, this is another one that the music, the movie, the soundtrack, all of it, all intertwined. Yep. You can't do one without the other. Makes perfect sense. Yeah, I'm not surprised this was a humongous hit. The music produced so many classic songs.
Yep.
It just, the movie, you have to have the soundtrack if you watch the movie and vice versa. And it obviously elevated the movie because Beep Beep wasn't really going to win the Academy Award without it.
I was just going to say Beep Beep. Exactly.
Stop it. Stop hurting my girl. Oh, okay, tough guy on your moped.
That was a motorcycle.
Oh,
beep, beep. Beep, beep.
Yeah, so that's their list.
Yep.
I know we didn't do ours.
We'll get to our list eventually.
So curious to hear what you guys think of that list. How many of those albums did you know? And how many are you like, what?
Yeah. And are we crazy with some of our things? Purple Rain, is that the best? I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, what are you talking about? The soundtrack to Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 that had Dream Warriors on it. It's better.
Where's Trick or Treat soundtrack?
What music by Fastway? How is that not number 5?
Or Disorderlies music by
the Fat Boys. Or another great soundtrack, Shocker.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
With music by Paul Stanley.
That's right. That's right. Oh, we're not done talking about soundtracks, but we wanted to get over this, kind of get the conversation started. So we're interested to see what you guys think of this list and throw out some of your favorites. Did your favorites not make this list? I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. Till the next time we get a Dorm Damage episode. All righty. Peace out, Girl Scout.